Hey there, everybody. It's the official, unofficial, sort of, kind of new episode of Eye on the Prize. Woo!
Yay.
Oh, my very, very, very sad co host. I feel like that's a tradition with you with all these award shows. Just, we always come on and everyone's super excited. You come on, so and so didn't win.
I'm the resident sourpuss, I admit it.
Oh, man. Rose, how are you doing, though?
I'm doing alright. I mean, tonight was kind of a fail, but in general, alright. About as anyone can be.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, I'm upset that a few of my favorites didn't win, but then some of my shows I really like did win too. So I'm kind of like, well, 6 of one, half dozen another. You know,
Right.
I can't cry over spilt milk in this case. But hey, everybody, for anyone who's never listened to this before, this is a wrap up show of, well, in this case, a wrap up show, but we like to talk about award shows because we're nerds and we like to talk about nerdy things. So we talk about Oscars and the Emmys and a few other shows. This is a very like sporadic kind of thing. So hey, we get a chance to tell you guys about our reactions and see what you guys thought about it too. So why don't we start then with a few of the creative arts winners, because that happened last week and there was actually some good winners on this one, I think. Yeah. So interesting win for outstanding TV movie was Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
Which I am not mad about.
I have still not seen this movie, but I've heard just weird stuff about it.
It seems pretty polarizing. I really, really liked it, but it seems to be a love or hate kind of thing, which is surprising to me.
I guess it's those people are like, oh, it's not the Chippendale I know because it's so different and so out there kind of thing.
Yeah, I've either seen, oh, it's not what I grew up with, they changed it too much, or, oh, this is just so soulless and corporate, and okay, Disney, we get it. But it's like, I would get that sentiment if they were talking about, like, I don't know, Wreck-It Ralph 2 or something. This is not that. They took a different approach with this one. I think all the kind of crossovers and cameos and stuff were handled way better than in Wreck-It Ralph 2.
Yeah, and they reintroduced Ugly Sonic to everybody.
Yeah.
That was insane. I was like, what? But yeah, everything else was, it was so little competition up against it that year. So I'm like, no surprise. What? The Survivor, the Reno 911 movie. Yeah, Chippendale, pretty easy pick for that one.
Yeah.
Outstanding animated series. I am so happy. Arcane won. Woo!
Yeah, that was really cool.
It is the best video game adaptation ever. Like, just bar none, it is the best video game adaptation right now.
Yeah,
So,
I was not that interested in it just at all. Not that I thought it was gonna be bad. It wasn't on my radar. My boyfriend was like, no, you gotta watch it. I don't care if you haven't played the game. You don't need to. Just watch it. It's really cool. And I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. And yeah, I ended up really liking it.
I was shocked, because, yeah, like, Lexi was the big League of Legends player between us, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm sure it's fine. But then I saw, funny enough, it was a Corridor Crew video that convinced me to watch it, because they analyzed all the animation and the details, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know it looked like that. Okay, I gotta check this
Yeah.
out. Yeah, it's great art design and animation stuff.
Truly.
Now, an interesting win here for Best Documentary Series, Peter Jackson's Beatles documentary won.
Sure.
Well, I know that doesn't seem like much, but I've actually been very happy for Peter Jackson after getting burned by The Hobbit that he's kind of found his new calling as a documentary filmmaker. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it won like a stack of technical prizes for documentary stuff, which, hey, good on him. But for short form animated series, it was Love, Death, and Robots for the new season of that.
Which I have not seen. I've heard it's really good, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say they probably made the right call on that one.
Yeah, of the ones nominated, it was the most like different, the most interesting kind of thing. Because Love, Death, and the Robots, because it's such a anthology of different shorts from different directors, it's really luck of the draw which one is good. But apparently, it was the
Right.
episode Jabaro, which everyone's been talking about because it's just got this crazy art design that you have to see it to really understand, kind of thing. Guest actor in a comedy series with Nathan Lane in Only Murders in the Building. I mean,
Can see that.
yeah, it's Nathan Lane. Everyone loves Nathan Lane, kind of thing. And then outstanding guest actress in a comedy series was Laurie Metcalf, because, she's great too as well, for Hacks. And then, interestingly, guest actor in a drama series, despite the Succession heavy hitters all nominated for this, it was Coleman Domingo for Euphoria.
Random, but I'll take it.
Yeah, I like Coleman Domingo. He's fun. And then guest actress for a drama series, one of the big winners for a bunch of stuff tonight, it was Squid Game for the actress Lee Yu-mi, who played.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so I don't want to say anything too much because it's a huge spoiler for a thing that happens halfway through. But
Yeah.
she had a very big episode halfway through the season.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, really, really great. Chadwick Boseman was awarded a posthumous character voiceover performance for What If.
Mm-hmm.
I know. It's one of the things where it's like, yes, it's a gimme because he passed away, but also, hey, he was charming in that episode.
Yeah, that was one of the better episodes of that whole series, I thought. So it's a good choice.
Yeah, indeed. And then outstanding narrator was Barack Obama for the Our Great National Parks documentary.
Again, I can't argue with that, I guess. I mean, he does have a very good speechifying voice, so narrating seems like the next step. And again, that's not something that I've seen, but it's something that makes sense to me.
Oh, yeah. But then also, I mean, talking about some tech winners, along with the bigger prizes we'll talk about, Squid Game actually walked away with a few prizes for production design, and then for, I believe, special visual effects, not the main visual effects prize.
Mm-hmm.
And it was for that episode with the glass floors, you know, the whole...
Yeah.
Yeah, like, that's the weird thing where, admittedly, it is one of the better looking visual effects in that show, but also for a show that clearly didn't put as much money into the visual effects kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, it's really impressive for a show that also showed that tug of war scene that had really awful visual effects.
Yeah.
That image of the people falling off the rope, I'm like, ooh.
I wonder why that episode didn't get anything.
I wonder, right? But then, you know, there's a smattering of tech prizes here. The Gilded Age won for production design. That's probably the most anyone will talk about that show, sadly.
Aw, I like that show.
Oh, it's fine. It's just not the huge hit they were hoping, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, White Lotus, among many prizes it won, took just a smattering of casting and technical prizes. And then looking down here further, surprisingly, for cinematography this year, Euphoria won. Which, it is a good-looking show, but I was kind of shocked it beat all the heavy hitters this year.
I can see that, though. For this season, and I feel like I'm going to say this a bunch, not something I've seen, but I have seen enough of it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially this season, like whenever, because it kept routinely making the news for its cinematography this season. Like, holy shit, look how amazing this scene looks.
Mm-hmm.
Retake that so you can play for your students.
Oh, yeah. Hi, students.
Yeah. No, I've seen so many news articles where people are just raving about how beautiful this scene or that scene looked and stuff. So, yeah, I completely get why that one took cinematography.
Yeah. No, I mean, the commercials I see for it, they're all really good looking. And then, hey, my favorite show, in quotey fingers here, The Great won an Emmy.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! Well, it won for costumes, which, okay,
Yeah.
I'll give it to The Great. It's got some good-looking costumes.
I know we suffered through that first season.
And I know, I feel I'm like the only person who doesn't like that show. Okay, I
I
accept.
thought it was all right, but I did not bother with the second season. I guess it was good, though.
No, not at all. I did not look at it at all. What We Do in the Shadows also won a costume prize, which, hey, good for them.
Sense?
Yeah. They have the most eclectic costume design of anything right now.
Yeah.
So, hey, something cool too. One of my favorite new shows of this year actually, Severance, won for main title design and for outstanding original score.
Yeah, and that one in particular, the title design.
Oh, so beautiful.
I don't want to complain about it. I don't know, just to make a note of the fact that artist, and God help me, I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Is it Oliver Latta or Teddy Blanks?
Let me see.
So the guy is the YouTuber, right?
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
He has, like, that's his art style, is that
Yep.
kind of like hyper realistic, uncanny valley kind of stuff. And I was looking through the portfolio on his website once I saw the show and thought, oh man, this is cool looking. And one of his pieces that he had previously done like a couple of years ago was almost exactly like one of the little sequences that ends up in there. So I don't know if that was like him homaging his own work or just reusing
definitely
his own work. I don't know, but
well, I mean, that's the reason he got hired for the show, is that Ben Stiller just surfed his channel one day and then slid into his DMs and say, hey, you want to design the title for my new show?
well, sure.
Yeah, hey, why not? And now he's an Emmy winner.
Yeah.
Look where you can go from YouTube, everybody. If you work hard enough and you actually have talent, then there you go.
That's what they say.
Mm-hmm. Now, one of the big winners, along with White Lotus for tech prizes, unsurprisingly was Stranger Things. Because it won a bunch of sound categories. It won for Not for main visual effects, I believe. No, it did, but it did win for music supervision because, I mean, running up that hill, they repopularized that and Master of Puppets, so of course they win for that. And then they won for prosthetic makeup design, which, hey, Vecna's design is incredible, to be fair.
Yeah, I genuinely, when I was first watching it, I genuinely did not know that was mostly prosthetics. So yeah, I'll give it to them.
Oh yeah, and Jamie Campbell Bower, or whatever his name is, he was just loving that makeup. There's so many photos of him just sitting there dressed as Vecna, drinking from a soda can or something.
Loved all of those.
Yeah. Now, thankfully, too, Barry didn't go home empty-handed because actually won a couple tech prizes for sound and film editing for a comedy series.
Yay!
I know, we take what we can get for our favorite shows, kind of thing. No, but that was... Oh, sorry.
For the sound design, was it at least for the motorcycle episode?
Yes, I believe it was for that one because that was the big episode. And actually, no, wait. So sound editing though, it was for the last episode, starting now.
Okay.
Yeah. So hey, at least for both good episodes, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then I believe Moon Knight won a couple art prizes as well, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the better ones. Stunts, it was Barry that won for outstanding stunt coordination for comedy because, again, that motorcycle chase, which was incredible. And then Stranger Things and Squid Game all won for stunt prizes.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, that's the most I have to say about tech prizes. The big winner out of all of those for overall wins was, well, actually, Euphoria, Stranger Things, White Lotus, The Beatles, and Adele's Special, apparently. All won 5 technical prizes. Cool. I mean, hey, that's awesome. Oh, and technically also Arcane was the second most, along with Squid Game, because Arcane won a stack of jury Emmy prizes. So, the ones that only the professionals vote for in that case. Yeah, which, again, it should win more. It should win all the the animation prizes. Come on.
All of them.
So, now moving on to tonight's stuff. So, this was all the Primetime Awards, which... That's so sad that animation is not considered prime time. Yeah, whatever. For writing, it was actually quite, well, I'm going to say diverse, but also with, predictable winners kind of thing. So, White Lotus won for writing, directing, series, supporting actor, and supporting actress in a limited series. Which, wow. So I think it walked away with 10 altogether, I think, this year.
Yeah, I mean, we were joking about it when we were watching it. Like, it's either going to be between that or Dope Sick every single time.
And Dope Sick only won, I think, 1 for Michael Keaton, I want to say.
Womp.
Aw. A surprise winner, though, was Abbott Elementary for outstanding writing for a comedy series and for supporting actress for a comedy series.
Yeah, with a pretty powerful, very unique acceptance speech, too. I thought that was pretty cool.
It was awesome and really surreal, because I was just like, huh? Just belting out this giant number kind of thing. But it was great. And then, of course, Succession was the big winner for drama series, where it won for Best Drama, Best Writing, and out of the blue, Matthew McFadden won for Supporting Actor this year.
Yawn. I mean, I'm not, like, upset about it. It's just that it was such a typical, like, this is going to happen choice, so that when they called it, I was just like, yep, there it is.
To be fair, but also, I was kind of surprised, because everyone was predicting Kieran Culkin to win for Supporting Actor, because he had a great season, too, to be fair. So, hey, good for Matthew. He had definitely some of the best scenes of everything in the show this season. So, now let's see here. Ted Lasso, of course, was the big comedy winner with directing, supporting actor, lead actor, and best comedy series.
Yeah, and it was up against the this season in particular, famously comedy series of Barry.
Man, Barry is becoming more and more a drama with every season. It's like I liked the season of Barry, but that was that thing where I'm like, I don't think I've laughed as much this season compared to last season.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been a dark humor show for sure, but this season, I think you can count the number of, like, objective comedy moments on one hand, and that was intentional. That's just the progression of the story. I mean, is there any precedent for a series switching categories like that? Because whenever they would show the best anything comedy category this year, acting, writing, directing, all that, and they would show all these wacky sitcom clips and then just these harrowing short clips from Barry of people like screaming or crying or shooting or just having a 1,000-yard stare. It's like, yeah, this was such a funny season. And I think that is probably one of the reasons why it didn't take anything, is because it was in the completely wrong category.
Yeah, it's becoming much less funny over the seasons. And, to be fair, there is a precedent for that, because one show I know that swapped categories between seasons, Orange is the New Black.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was
Then.
marketed as a comedy for a season, and everyone's like, this show is funny, but not ha-ha funny.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, you know what, you're right. Best drama series now, instead.
Well, hopefully they'll correct that next time around, because
Or make very funny again. Like, I like what they're doing, but I'm like, I kind of miss those really funny parts in the previous seasons. So
yeah.
Although the motorcycle chase had some huge laughs in it too.
Oh, the GTA episode, yeah.
The dude who's like passing the gun to the dude driving past him on the car. That was hilarious. My gosh. Oh, and I'm hoping that was clearly CG, because otherwise I'm like, there's no way to fake that stunt that they did there. And then let's see. So along with that, Julia Gardner won for Ozark, which, okay, Ozark ended this season, so there was kind of a pittance prize almost, it feels like. Which, she's good in that show, to be fair. So
I'm going to amend my prediction from the beginning of this series, or this, like, tonight's Emmys, of they're going to give Better Call Saul a Schitt's Creek style, oh my gosh, we're sorry for ignoring you for so long sweep. I guess they did that for Ozark, even though it wasn't a complete one.
Well, I mean, Ozark only won one award this season.
Did they?
Think. Yeah, I want to say only won the one for her, I think. So
I guess it felt like more.
Yeah. But hey, the good thing is, to help you, for all you Better Call Saul fans, and yes, Better Call Saul walked away empty-handed, technically the second half is eligible for next year. So, and also, half of these shows just ended, so they're not coming back, and that's less competition.
Mm-hmm.
So, goodbye Ozark, goodbye all these other shows. Hello, Better Call Saul again before you go.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, we can only hope. Then let's see here. We also got some really good lead acting winners here. We had Michael Keaton win for Dope Sick, which,
yeah,
Michael Keaton's always a great thing to have in a show or a movie anyway. So,
and
then
I swear he was the only person that they didn't, like, try to music off the stage.
That was weird. Like, literally, so many people being played off this ceremony, and especially near the end, where they're like, nope, we said 3 hours, we're getting out of here in 3 hours, dang it.
Yeah, like, I guess maybe it's just because he's Michael Keaton. I mean, I get it, but even some of the other kind of big-name stars only got about 30 seconds, and they were just blatantly getting music. Then it's like, whoa, but y'all let Michael Keaton ramble on for 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Did he take everyone else's time?
It feels like it, because freaking Jennifer Coolidge, like, the way they treated her, it was just like, oh, that's mean. My goodness.
Wild.
Really, really weird. But then the other big winner, now this one I did see some of, is Amanda Seyfried in The Dropout.
Yeah, I didn't watch that one because I've already seen, like, every documentary about that case and everything, so a fictionalized version of it didn't really appeal to me, but I've heard it's good.
Yeah, like, that's the thing. The show itself is all right overall. It's not the best drama series, but she's really good. Like, the last few years, she's really stepped up her game and her acting skills. Okay. So, yeah, I'm kind of shocked at how good she is now.
She'll always be Karen for me. My God, Karen.
Is she the one who was with the Stop Making Fetch Happen, or was that the other girl?
No, that was Lacey Chabert.
Right, okay. I know, I'm like, it's been a while since I've seen Mean Girls. My goodness. I know, it's been a few years. I gotta rewatch it at some point, so, yeah. But then, also, Zendaya won for Euphoria, which, I mean, yeah, she's like the big reason to watch that show. So.
Mm-hmm. And again, like I said earlier, I haven't really watched the show, but when that episode came out and everybody was talking about it, I went and watched just her scenes from it, and just, yeah, I was blown away. Now, what I saw from it still didn't grab me enough to make me watch the rest of the show, but that was one heck of a performance from her. Like, especially when she starts, like I said in the chat, like slamming her head against the door and stuff. Whoa!
Wow. Yeah, I mean, good for her, going up from Disney Channel shows to, high caliber dramas. So.
Yeah, she's one of my new, like, favorite movie stars right now. Everything she does is great.
I love, too, the joke that Kenan Thompson, the host, made with her, where he's like, oh, you just turned 26. 26, you're still young enough to play high schooler, but you're too old to date Leo DiCaprio.
I saw that street joke coming down the street in a cab.
That's weird, where Kenan had a pretty all-right hosting gig on the whole. Like, that dumb thing at the beginning with all the TV themes was stupid, but his actual, like, monologue was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also, nothing will top the awe moment when Kel Mitchell showed up.
Yeah, okay, was that scripted or not? Because
Oh,
his reaction seemed like a surprise.
that I'm not sure. Like that feels like a bit, but maybe not at the same time.
Yeah.
Like maybe he had someone he was going to talk to, but maybe he didn't realize it was Kel who was there.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe it was somebody else in rehearsal or something like that. Because the lead up to it sounded very scripted, but then when Kel, turned to face him, he genuinely seemed surprised.
Oh yeah, because I suspect, like you said, like because you noticed throughout most of the skit he was kind of hunched over, hiding his face from Keenan.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's what you said. Like somebody was in rehearsal, and then that last minute they swapped out Kel for that one.
That was really nice.
That made me so happy. I know if you students are listening to this, I know who it is. I'm not going to say her name on here, but one of the girls in my class who actually knew what Good Burger was and said it's her favorite movie. And I'm like, you might be one of my new favorites. Oh, it's so great. But then, surprise big winner again for the primetime stuff. Squid Game walked away with the Best Director prize and Best Actor for Lee Jung-jae.
Yeah, which, as upset as I was about Bob Odenkirk not getting it, I have to admit this guy really did turn in a good performance. So,
oh yeah,
all right, snaps.
No, he dominated with that stuff, and well, I kind of blew the lead on the Best Series winners, so that's kind of it. I mean, you see, that's the thing. Like, there's a lot of other prizes, and I mean, what, you guys don't care about the variety shows and the competition programs. I mean, It was nice to see Lizzo be so happy for her win, for Best Competition Program. And
that was really cool.
Yeah. And then, oh my, the intense drama Best Variety Sketch Series with 2 nominees. Gee, I wonder if it's going to be SNL or the show that nobody watches.
Right.
I know, I'm just like, why did they even have this category more? Just make it the SNL prize goes to SNL this year. But then that's also the same thing. Geez, Variety Talk series really stink now because John Oliver's won for like the last decade, I feel like, in that series, in the category.
Yeah, I mean, it was really no surprise. I mean, yeah, they should just keep his and SNL's Emmys just already pre-engraved and everything. Tell the other nominees, don't even bother show up. It's fine.
Until your shows end, we'll just pre-stamp these with your names on them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you said, it's like, yeah, on the one hand, it's nice that we get some prizes for well-deserving winners. But on the other hand, it wasn't that special. I mean, again, White Lotus was kind of the predicted winner for most of this stuff, and it just swept a bunch of categories. Succession is, one of the most beloved TV shows. Surprisingly, kind of out of nowhere became one of the most beloved dramas on TV. And Ted Lasso is Apple's biggest hit right now. So
yeah,
it's very safe winners. I mean, literally the only real surprise winners were the 2 supporting actor winners there for Succession and Abbott Elementary.
Yeah.
I don't have much else to say. Yeah, that's kind of what it is this year. It's like, it's a lot. It speaks to the quality of TV lately, but also saying, yeah, but then the good shows win more awards. Oh, good, kind of thing.
Yeah, it was just kind of a meh of Emmys this year. It was disappointing in some regards, but unsurprising in others.
Yeah, but I mean, again, compared to last year where we had to suffer through Cedric the Entertainer and how unfunny that dude is. I know, right? You remember that one?
Thanks, I'd forgotten about it.
That's why you keep coming back to this show. I get to remind you of all kinds of goodies like that.
Thanks.
Yeah. But this year, I would say, at least in terms of the hosting for Keenan, that's a step up other than a few missteps here and there.
Yeah, he was pretty all right.
Yeah. Keenan's always been, like, he's one of those, like, always reliable performers. It's like, he's never going to be, like, the best at anything, but if you need someone, like, in a hurry who's funny and charming and available, Kenan Thompson's there for you.
Yeah, he was all right.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's mostly it. Any last thoughts about anything funny that happened at the ceremony? Oh, you know what? I totally forgot. Probably the most bleeped ceremony I've seen in a while. My goodness.
Including the time where they were just a half a second too slow on the button there.
I thought she said something else. It was like, oh no, they missed the word.
Yeah, they just missed it. That was funny.
Oh, that's always great when you have those little technical hiccups. And then there was one with, I forget who the host lady is, they would cut to for like the DJing stuff. But there was one when they were cutting commercial break, and they accidentally cut back to her talking to someone else off stage, and like, oh shoot, commercial.
Oops.
There wasn't really that many like shocking or controversial moments other than how foul-mouthed everybody was too. It's just like, yeah, it's kind of, again, kind of unremarkable. Most of the skits they were there.
Mm-hmm.
There was like a couple funny bits. Most of the funny bits came from Keenan roasting like all the TV channels out there.
Yeah.
That my favorite gag was the one he's like, some of the shows were hard to watch this year. Stranger Things because it was scary, Succession because it's full of corruption, and Yellow Jackets because it's on Showtime.
Yeah, that was great. And I love how much the cast of that laughed at that too. Like they can have that kind of a laugh at themselves. They know.
Sure, hey, be good sports. That's all we ask for sometimes, Just yeah. And then how many jabs they took at Netflix. I'm like, it's just not a secret anymore how much Netflix is just deeply in debt with all the stuff they've been doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, hey, Netflix is still producing good stuff, but hopefully for longer than we might fear. Yeah. So that's about it. But sorry, I cut you off there. Anything that you found really stood out other than that?
No, not really. I just, like I said, I was pretty disappointed at the things that I was rooting for that got completely shut out, and otherwise it was just kind of unremarkable to me.
Yeah, again, that whole thing Keenan said too. It's like the show where we nominate like 500 TV shows and then we just give it to 5 shows.
And he ended up being exactly right about that.
Yep. It's like it's funny until you realize how true it is. Mm-hmm. You're just like, oh yeah, that's right. Well, Better Call Saul, one more year. Let's see if we can get like anything, even for Rhea Seehorn, for Bob Odenkirk. It would be worth it, Like, hey, how many years do we wait for John Hamm to win his Emmy at Mad Men?
Right.
Yeah. So sometimes it pays off. So we shall
see.
Well, before we go, though, Rose, do you have anything you'd like to promote or share with everybody listening?
Yeah, I have a new website set up for my interior design and like 3D modeling business, and that can be found at roseinteriordesign.net, and also on Instagram at roseintdesign. Somebody already took Rose Interior Design. That's not me. I am just Rose Int Design. No spaces, no dots, anything. Yes, please come take a look at the stuff that I do.
Oh, that's awesome. Hey, yeah, people, please support her. I didn't know you're doing interior design, like 3D modeling kind of stuff, too. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, hey, thank you all for listening, and hopefully we'll be back for another one of these. This is still... It's in a weird transitional spot right now where I'm doing my teaching work, I'm doing my, all my personal responsibilities kind of thing, and then I just really want to get back into this kind of thing. Mm-hmm. It's just, as always, it's always about time and... motivation and a lot of stuff. But hopefully we'll have some more stuff to share with you people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Rose, it's always a pleasure to talk to you about this stuff.
Always.
Yeah. So, hey, everybody, until next time, whenever that it is, talk to you later.
Toodles.